I want to share this word of motivation, word of encouragement for somebody who is trusting God for something. And I want to share this by telling you a personal story. You see, in February 2024 this year, I was asking God for one thing. I won't go into details to be discreet, but I was asking God for one thing. I was asking God for one thing. And this thing I was asking God for was something that could take care of other things. You can get what I'm trying to say. It could take care of other things. At the same time, could give me some sort of push advancement in a certain area of my life. And I didn't get that thing. And it seemed so close to me. Like it seemed so close, like within reach. I don't know if you've ever, you know, like it's within your grasp already, and all of a sudden you just lose it. Initially, I felt like it felt like maybe there were forces against me, gosh, like I really want this, I really need this. You get that kind of thing. And I didn't get it. And it seems stalled. It stalled like, it stalled. I thought I had it going to like 2, 3 months. I didn't get it. But here's the thing. On the third month, which was around I won't disclose it, but let me just say it. Around ending of May to June, I got into close proximity with that thing. I didn't get the thing, but I got to close proximity with it. Okay. Now, still in my mind, I was like, I can still get this. 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 But before I continue the story, let's just read Matthew 7, verse 9. Matthew 7, verse 9 talks about where Christ himself says, which of you, if your child asks you for bread, will give him stone? And which of you, if your child asks you for fish, will give him a snake? You see, sometimes when we ask God for things, if God, you see those things we are asking, they belong to the realm of stone and fish. As how grandiose it looks to us, as how alluring, as how appealing it's like, oh God, if I can just have this, if I can just have this job, if I can just have this wife, if I can just have if I can just have this man, if I can just have this car, if I can just have this thing, if I can just have this admission, if I can just have this thing, you all know that one thing that you are asking God for. That was not my own, so I'm not going to give you. That's no clue. That's no clue. But those things that you're asking for, you have to realize also that God, in the book of Isaiah, one of the chapters of Isaiah says, "My ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts, and the sky is high to the earth." Those things you are asking for, it's like stone and snake to God. And God wants to give you bread and fish. So um, yeah, I got into close proximity of that thing, but I didn't get the thing. But along the line, something happened. Okay, maybe another day I'll do a deep dive story on this, but I want to be discreet. But I just want to share this word with something. So something happened along the line that made that something happened along the line that now I'm close to it. I don't have it, but I'm close to it. But something happened along the line that this event brought me, yeah, me, and that thing I wanted together in a space. And let me tell you, this event that happened, yeah, this event that happened that brought me and that thing I wanted together in a space is more glorious. It's more glorious than whatever it is I wanted out of that thing initially. And this is just to say to somebody, what you are praying to God for, what God wants to do for you on that prayer, trust me, is more than what you even want for God. If God wants something, if you want something for God, and it seems I am praying about something, and it seems as if God did not answer that prayer, or it feels as if God ignored you, or it feels that it will get to a level you start thinking, "Abi, my village people they follow me," that kind of thing now, you know. But here's the thing: if God sees that that thing really, really, it's really hurt you that you couldn't get it, trust me, God is a God of compensation. He's a God of restoration. He will give you back more than what you even asked for, more than what you even dreamed of. I was now looking at this thing that happened, and I was like, see, sometimes we don't have to be. Sometimes Sometimes what we are rushing, sometimes what we are rushing so hard to get is already on its way to meet us. And I just want to say this for somebody. Whatever it is that you are praying so earnestly against for, yes, pray. But also pray with the mindset that God can do whatever He wants to do. And you have to pray in a way that you let Him know that you are comfortable with Him doing even beyond what you're asking for. You see, some people pray and they pray as if God doesn't do that specific thing, He is not God. And whereas let me tell you one thing with God, you cannot bring Him to your level. You cannot bring it. No, see, just know this with God. You can't bring Him to your level. You can't make God think like you. You can't make God speak like you. You can't make God see things like you. So if you really want God to intervene or to show up for you, today is Wednesday. I'm sure most of us did 9 a.m. service this morning. If you really want God to show up to that thing that you're looking up to God for, I need to understand that you have to be comfortable with God coming in how He wants to come in and doing what He wants to do, how He wants to do it. If you've not adopted this mindset, I fear you may be frustrating yourself in the place of prayer and the place of waiting. But when you adopt the mindset whereby, you know what, God, I really want this, but I know that you know better. What do you think? Do what you will do. That prayer, as simple as it sounds, you have now spoken and given God a room for Him to act. Yeah, so this evening, in our evening service, we'll be looking at Luke 18 from verse 35 to 43. Luke 35 to 43. Should I do the video now or should I wait till I go to church? I think I should do it now. Let me just do it now. Let me do it now. One moment. Watch the next video for that. All right, now. So back to what I was saying. I just hope this really blesses you, and I just really hope that it just changes your perspective in how you pray and how you wait for God to intervene in your waiting seasons. And I just hope, and just to encourage you that look, that same thing that you're praying so hard for, one day you would have it, and you would have so much more. And the worst thing you want to avoid, the worst feeling you want to have is that feeling when you know that you were kind of rude or disrespectful to God when that thing eventually now comes. Meaning, in the place of waiting, the feeling you want to avoid is being rude or complaining. Because the truth is, when this thing eventually comes, the joy that it will come with, it won't be full because you know that in the process of waiting for it, in the process of praying for it, let me say it in Yoruba, so. So, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So, whatever it is you are waiting to God for, waiting on God for, whatever it is you are praying for, you have to trust His timing. You have to trust His process. You have to trust His way. And guess what? Here is one thing: you have to trust the fact that that thing might not be for you. But here is one thing I also know for a fact is that God will always have something better. God will always have something better, something better. In some cases, your desires, your specific desires, will be in the will of God. So it is like, but in some cases, God will want something better for you, especially if you are God's own. Like if you and God have a deeper relationship, where like, let's say I chosen one, that kind of P. Trust me, what God will always like, if you pray for one fruit, God will give you seven. But it's in the process of waiting for that seven. Yeah. Ah, you must be patient, you must be full of thanksgiving, you must be full of humility. Eventually the seven will come. And when the seven comes, you'll be like, oh, so God, wow. This was you. So you heard when I was praying for one, but you just felt like I deserve more than one, or your grace upon me deserves more than one. And for that reason, you gave me seven. So that's the idea that I want you to start having. And if you really adopt that, you will just come to know God in a whole different light. And you just come to have peace of mind and not be stressing yourself because you want some specific prayers answered the way you want them to. Learn to let go of the reins of control and let God be God. Let God be God over your life. Let God be God.